Hello, welcome back. My name's Mark. I'm a former Royal Marine. Served from 2005 to 2017, so 12 years and a couple of months. Today I'm going to be talking about, or on this video rather, depends what day you're going to watch it. On this video I'm going to be talking about my first deployment to Afghanistan, so that'll be Operation Herrick 9, but more specifically be chatting about how you get there. So obviously you got to get there. Clearly, the military don't make anything straightforward. So even getting there is just not straightforward, or it wasn't at the time. So first deployment to Afghanistan was Operation Herrick 9, which ran from I think late September 2008 to maybe late April 2009, something like that, around that. So again, this will be mostly done from memory, so I honestly wish that I'd kept a diary of all this stuff, because memories are fading, unfortunately, like the finer details anyway. So first off I was in 4-5 Commandos, who were based up in Rys Condor, Arbroath in Scotland, which is sort of on the east coast near Dundee. In the morning, whatever day it were, we went down with all our kit, so like black kit bags, Bergens, webbing, CBA helmets, all that type of stuff. Went down to one of the old aircraft hangars. So Rys Condor is actually an old Fleet Air Arm base from Second World War. So Fleet Air Arm being like the Navy's version of, like the Navy's Air Force basically. I went down to one of the hangars, and there you met by what we used to call Royal Corps wagon wheels. So I think these blokes were RLC, and we used to have like a red patch on their arm with like a golden wagon wheel. I don't mean wagon wheel like the chocolate snack from the 90s. I mean like a fucking like a horse and like an horse and cart, like a wagon wheel, like a golden one of them on there, and they were the movers. Don't remember what I'm assuming like we'd have baggage or something. I don't really know what we did with them, to be honest. I can't remember. And get on coaches. We drove on coaches or buses, whatever, down to RAF Lucas, which I think was other side of Dundee. So it took like maybe an hour and a half to get there. Yeah, get to RAF Lucas, and then you basically we got on a C-17 flight down to RAF Bri Norton. But again, it's not just you probably think it's military, so you just hop in like off the coach straight onto a plane. It's not like that. We still have to go through customs checks, have your like bags x-rayed and all that type of stuff. Make sure you're not carrying any knives or whatever, ammunition. If you're going to Afghanistan, you probably don't need ammunition and knives and things like that. True, you probably will, but you're still not allowed to take one flight. All that stuff has to be put on proper, accounted for basically. You can't just take it on willy nilly. Pretty sure it was maybe like in between Edinburgh and Dundee, down to Bri Norton. Get to Bri Norton, and then actually in Bri Norton, again it's a military, it's like an RAF facility, but a lot of civvies fly from there as well. So like civvy contractors working from MOD will fly out there. So when you get there to like the departure area, it's just like a little miniature airport. But the day we arrived, we weren't flying that day, so we stayed over in the, I think it's called like the Gateway Hotel, something like that. So you even have like a check-in process. There's like an RF person at the hotel desk. Check in, stayed overnight. I think some of the lads went to a local drinking establishment. I didn't bother, from what I remember. Get up next day, do whatever, and then basically report to the sort of airport, if you like, air terminal, Bri Norton. It's kind of like being in a normal airport, but a lot smaller. But basically, you go to like the check-in desk, show me your passport and all that, put your luggage on. It goes down a little conveyor belt. Then you go through to the departure lounge, and we must have waited in there for, I don't know, 2 hours maybe. Then you're basically going to get on a RAF, what's it called? TriStar? Can't remember. At that point in time, so 2008, it was an ancient jetliner. TriStar, RAF TriStar. Yeah, so you get on an RAF TriStar, pretty sure it was officers first. You know, it's just the way it is. Military, and then take off. You take off from Bri Norton, but you're not going straight to Afghanistan. You're not going straight to Kandahar airfield, because at that point, Camp Bastion didn't have a runway big enough or long enough or whatever to accommodate a TriStar. So I actually flew from Bri Norton to Cyprus to RAF Kandar, and we got off a plane. And even again at RAF Kandar, it was like a tiny little airport, something you might find on one of the smaller Greek islands. I know Cyprus is a Greek island / Turkish now. Yeah, but it might be, you know, the airport looks like something you might find on one of like the really small Greek islands. Had a duty free as well, so got off a plane, sat around in like the sort of airport at RAF Kandar again for a couple of hours at most. Then we got back on the RAF TriStar. I don't actually know if we got on the same TriStar or not. I can't remember. I'm assuming we did. They must have been picking up stores and stuff like that, or even picking up people from Kandar to fly onwards. So you get back on the plane, and it's about another 4 hours from Kandar to Kandar airfield. And you know when you're getting close to Kandar airfield, because basically we were told to like shut the shutters on the plane windows, all the lights went out, and I'm pretty sure we had to put on our CBA, so CBA being combat body armour, and our helmets. And you could feel the plane sort of manoeuvring and whatnot. It's quite noticeable, not like being on a normal civvy flight, like going to Mallorca or something. It was pitch black as well, all the lights are off. And I do believe the reason for that was to invade any potential incoming ground fire. So I was told. Seems like that would have been reason. It doesn't seem like there's any other reason for the plane to be moving about that much. It landed at Kandar airfield. We went into like transit accommodation. And transit accommodation was like massive tents with loads of bunk beds. I remember it being multinational as well. I think there were some Americans in there too, British, but not just us. Various like different British sort of units, cap badges, whatever. Pretty sure there were some Americans in there. Someone else might have been like Dutch. I think some Dutch soldiers in there too. We was in there for like maybe 3 hours or something, enough to get a little bit of sleep, and then went through to another departure lounge. This one quite not as nice as the other ones. It's just like a tent. It is in Afghan at this point, and then onwards from Kandar to Camp Bastion on, I believe, a C-17 again. So, but by the time we actually landed in Camp Bastion, it was like probably like 3 in the morning, and then again you get put into transit accommodation. So transit accommodation being accommodation, but you're not going to be staying there for an extended period of time. Basically, then we woke up in the morning, and then you start what is called the RSOI, and I cannot remember what RSOI stands for, but basically RSOI was an in-theatre training package, so similar to what we'd already done at home, but more up to date, because we didn't have to wait to send the information back to the UK for it to be written into a training program. We could just do it there and then. So when the threat changed on the ground, they could update RSOI pretty quickly. So did like I think they did like a zero shoot, a little. So a zero shoot being basically like correcting the aim of your weapon, if you like, so correcting the sights. Did medical stuff, like did things to do with IEDs, unsurprisingly, so new types of IEDs that have been found, the ways of detecting them, a bit more Op Obama training, so Op Obama being not Barack Obama, don't believe it was named after him, but basically like Op Obama is where you have what was called a Valen, which is like, I'm not going to say a mine detector, but it basically was like a mine detector, and the ways to operate that, like with new updated information. And I think that lasted for like maybe, there was like lectures in theatre as well, so there was things about Camp Torchlight. So Camp Torchlight was an interrogation centre in Camp Bastion, where insurgents or suspected insurgents were taken, interrogated, and you weren't even allowed to take pictures of Camp Torchlight, from what I remember. If you got caught taking pictures of it, you got in trouble. So wasn't really worth it. But yeah, Camp Torchlight. So you had lectures about that, telling you not to take pictures of it, basically, and that was it. So RSOI was just a bit more training. So we got to Camp Bastion, so let's talk a little bit about Camp Bastion. So Camp Bastion, if I'd have been based there, I don't think I would have saved any money at all, because there was too much to spend money on. There was the NAFI, so the NAFI, it wasn't a spar shop, it was literally run by NAFI, the company, whatever you want to call it. But you could even buy like iPods in there, from what I remember, as well. Not even that cheap. Buy iPods, magazines, cans of pop, chocolate bars. I think you could buy trainers in there as well, t-shirts, all sorts of stuff. All sorts of things you could buy in NAFI. There was also a pizza up in Camp Bastion as well. And actually, the second time I went to Afghan, there was actually a KFC there, but that will come up later. Yeah, so there was a pizza up. There was also a market where local market traders could sell their wares. So I actually bought a box set of a TV show called Tour of Duty. It was pretty good, to be fair. They made a really good effort on the box set. They made it look like an ammo liner, which I thought was pretty cool. That's why I bought it. It was a good show as well. Yeah, there was just so much spend your money on. I think there's a coffee shop and all. Yeah, if I'd have been based there, I would have saved no money. I don't think. Just been spending it in pizza all the time. So yeah, we spent, after RSY, probably spent like 2 days, I think, in Camp Bastion. Like I said, going to pizza up, going to the market. We called it the Chogi market. Not really a PC word, I'm assuming. Yeah, and going to the NAFI, buying just spending money because there was nothing else. There was a gym there, but not really interested in the gym anywhere for a couple of days. So that is how you get to Afghanistan, what happened, and what happened once you got there. Next we'll be talking about leaving, not on this video, but next video we'll be talking about leaving Camp Bastion and heading out to your FOB, which in my case were FOB Rob, and we were taking over, I believe it was D Company, 2 para. I think it was definitely 2 para, but I'm pretty sure it was D Company. A bunch of blokes, from what I remember. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe if you want to hear more about my experiences in RoyalMarines. Leave a comment. Did you go out to Afghan? Was it anything like I said, or was yours a bit more straightforward, straight there from Bri Norton or whatever? Cheers, and hope to see you soon.